Tiny tigers on the rug. Tiny tigers on the rug. Tiny tigers safe and snug. Tiny tigers on the rug. Hi, tiny tigers. It's Miss Sarah. Welcome to story time at Miss Stephanie's front porch. I'm so glad to see you. Guess what we're going to talk about today? We talked about snakes a little while ago. Do you all remember that when we talked about snakes? Today we're going to talk about another really fun animal called a toad. It's a toad. Isaac, will you need that puppet real quick, please? A toad. A toad is similar to a frog. Have you seen a frog before? This is a puppet of a frog. A frog and a toad are not the same. They have things about them that are similar, but they're not the same animal. So if you hear somebody say, oh look, it's a toad or it's a frog, it's one, but not both. A frog is usually green, especially in Arkansas. A frog usually has smooth skin. A frog likes to be in or near water. And frogs have little things called tadpoles when they're babies. This is a frog puppet. Now guess what I have to show you. A toad. A toad is different. A toad is usually brown. Zoom in here for me, Isaac, please. A toad is usually brown. A toad has, oh, he peed all over me. Thank you. Hey, Steph, could you grab me a baby wiper? Thank you. Oh, that was so funny. Did you see that, boys and girls? This toad just peed all over Miss Sarah. Oh my goodness. That was so yucky. Thank you, Stephanie. Okay. Anyway, this is a toad. A toad has bumpy skin. It's not smooth, it's bumpy. A toad usually lives where it's drier. He lives in dirt or in grass or leaves. And while he does need water to drink, because we all need water to drink, he spends most of his life on dry land. So if you were going to have a house for a toad, oh boy, how could this toad have more to drink? There we go. He likes leaves and stuff instead of like an aquarium. Look at his little throat. Can you see that, Isaac? See his throat going bloop, 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 bloop. Can you see that? He's got cool eyes. I like him a lot. Even if you did pee on me, I like you a lot. Some tiny tigers have peed on me, and I love them too. Oh, he's so much fun. What do you think a toad says? Growl, growl, or ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Oh, I like him a lot. He's got cool eyes, I think, too. So, in Conway, which is the town where most of us live, we have a special festival called Toadsuck Days. Toadsuck Days is a festival that usually is held the first weekend of every May. This year, it got postponed, which is a little sad. This year, we don't know yet when they're going to have it, but hopefully they still get to have one this year. So toads at Toadsuck, if you find a toad, then you can take it to the big toad dome downtown, and you can race your toad against other toads to see which one is the fastest. And if your toad's the fastest, you get a ribbon. It's so much fun. Miss Sarah has raced many, 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 many toads in her life. And all my boys, Isaac and Micah, and even Ruth, you guys know Ruthie, Ruth, have all raced toads. That's something we love, love, love to do. Okay, so this little toad, he's looking a little grumpy, actually. What do you think? Do you think he looks grumpy? You know, bring him even closer. You see him, Isaac? Mm-hmm. He's wiggly. I think he's ready to be let go. What do you think? Yeah? You think he's done being handled for the day? Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to put him back in his house for now and put his lid on. And then I promise later we're going to put him right back where we found him so that he can go home to his toad mom and toad dad. I'm going to put him right up there And now I'm going to use the baby wipes that Stephanie gave me. Thank you so much, Miss Steffi. Did you know that Toad was going to pee on me?
I did not. I did not know that.
Is that why he had so much water? So he would drink a lot and pee all over Miss Sarah? That was so silly, boys or girls. Do you see I'm washing my hands right now? Are you guys washing your hands really well at home still? I hope that you are. Miss Sarah's using wipes right now because that's what I have. But at home, I hope you're using soap and water. And if you don't have soap and water, you're using hand sanitizer. It's still very important that we keep our hands clean. Okay, my hands are all nice and clean. Thank you, Miss Stephanie, for that. We're going to do a craft now. I have a paper plate. We like paper plate crafts, don't we? We do a lot of crafts with paper plates in our class. If you don't have a paper plate, then you can have your mommy or your daddy cut you a circle out of a piece of paper. That would work just fine. If you have a paper plate, but it's not white, that's okay too. It can be any color. So I'm going to take our paper plate and I'm going to fold it over just like this. Just like this. That looks like a taco. Okay. See my paper plate? Now, I am going to take, you know what? I have a green and a brown. Wonder which one I should use to make a toad. What do you think, Isaac? What color are frogs?
Green.
Green. What color are toads?
Brown.
Brown. I think I'm going to make a hybrid. I'm going to do a little bit of both. I'm going to make a green and brown toad. And my toad's going to have some spots on it because he's bumpy, just like the toad that we saw. And I'm using markers, but you could use crayons. You could use hot dots if you have hot dots at your house. That's probably what we would use at school. If you have watercolors, you could use watercolor. You could use just anything you have at all. That's what this is all about. Making do with what we've got, right? I'm going to use brown now. And I'm going to give my toad some big, bumpy, brown spots. Just like this. It doesn't have to be perfect, boys and girls. I want you to do this the way you do it. And if that means that you make a rainbow toad, awesome. If that means it's kind of scribbly, that's okay. Just do your best. So this is what I have. Remember? Here we go. Just like that. Okay. Now earlier, I cut out 2 green circles. Are these triangles? These are not triangles. Are those squares? These are not squares. These are circles. I'm going to take, and you should have your mom or dad help you cut out 2 circles too, okay? And you can color those or let them be any color you want. But mine are green because that's the color I had. And I'm going to take my glue stick. And I'm going to put my glue stick right there. And I'm going to glue one of my circles right there to the top of my paper plate. Now I'm going to take another glue stick. And I'm going to put some glue on the back of this circle. And I'm going to put it right there. Do you see that? Oh, I love it. Now, I also cut out 2 little white circles. If we were at school, we would probably use googly eyes, but I don't have any googly eyes. So we have little white pieces of paper, and I'm going to take a black marker, and I'm going to draw googly eyes on my toad. Okay, and I'm going to take my glue stick, and I'm going to glue my eyes right on. Look at that. How's that look? Does that good to you, Steffi?
Looks great.
Okay, thank you. You know, I need my positive reinforcement. Okay, now I'm going to give my toad some nostrils so he can breathe. And then I am going to take a little piece of red paper. Do you see my little piece of red paper? What do you think I'm going to do with that? I'm going to open up. I'm going to open up my toad's mouth, and I'm going to glue his little tongue right there. Yum, yum. Now, if you wanted to be all extra and make this last a long time, then you could color the inside of your toad's mouth red. You could even take your black marker and have your mom or dad or whoever help you draw a little fly in there. Toads like to eat bugs. Would you like to eat a bug, Miss Stephanie?
I would not.
I have.
One time at Mount Nebo, Isaac and I ate crickets because they were having a program that lets you eat crickets.
And how did that taste?
It tasted like
Crunchy.
But
they had seasoning on it, so it kind of tasted like popcorn, to be honest.
okay.
Okay, so here's my toad. Rabbit. Rabbit. See his mouth? I drew him a little fly, Miss Steffi.
It's awesome.
And he's got a little tongue. And I'm going to take my glue stick again. And I have a green popsicle stick. Do you have a green popsicle stick? Probably not, and that's okay. You can use a regular popsicle stick. Might be a good excuse to eat a popsicle. You could use a stick that you found in your backyard. You could use a plastic spoon would work. Be creative. Don't go to the store. You can find stuff at home to work. Okay. Look at that. I put my toad on a popsicle stick, and now he can go ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Oh, I love him. Do you love him? I think he's super duper cute. I'm so glad God gave us toads. Can you imagine a world without toads? There would be no toad suck. We'd probably have way too many bugs too, since toads eat bugs. What else do you think toads eat?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Do you have a story about things that toads could eat?
I do.
Would you read it to us?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to move and I'm going to let Miss Steffi sit down and read you a story all about toads. Let me move this table out of the way for you, Steph.
I actually have 2 stories. First story is about things that toads like to eat. Can you see the toad's mouth, Isaac? This toad is named Monday. Isn't that a funny name? I think it's fine. Monday the toad is always hungry. On Sunday, he ate something purple. It was a butterfly. On Monday, it was furry and white. What was that? It was a mouse. Can you believe that? Tuesday was crunchy and red. What was it? A crab. That silly toad ate a crab. Wednesday glowed green in the night. What glows green? It was a firefly. Thursday was bumpy and yellow. What could that be? Why, it was a caterpillar. You see it? Friday was shiny and blue. That's a fish. That toad ate a fish. Saturday, he wanted something sweet. So Monday the frog ate you. Isn't that silly? What a silly toad. Toads can be silly though. We have another story about a silly, I think this is a frog.
Frog.
Yeah. Toads and frogs are different, remember? Never snap at a bubble, said Father Frog. Snap, went Baby Frog and swallowed a bubble. One bubble. Your tummy will stretch, said Mother Frog. Your tummy will stretch, said Father Frog. Snap, snap, went Baby Frog and swallowed 2 more bubbles. 1, 2. Oh, you'll grow round as a balloon, said Mother Frog. You will grow round as a balloon, said Father Frog. Snap, 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 went Baby Frog and swallowed 3 more bubbles. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you'll float away, said Mother Frog. You will float away, said Father Frog. Snap, 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 went Baby Frog. He ate 4 more bubbles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And guess what? He floated away. Isn't that silly? Should always obey. Friends, I hope that you have had so much fun learning about frogs and toads and getting to meet our toad. I hope you have a good day and we'll see you next time.
Hey, boys and girls. Okay, it's the day. We saw them as teeny tiny little caterpillars. We saw them eat and grow and become big fat caterpillars. We saw them attach to the roof of their habitat and turn into like a jay. Remember when they were like jays? And then they spun themselves up into cocoons. Then we waited 10 days and now we have butterflies. I went ahead and switched their house out so they would be nice and safe. Remember that? And now, see their little door right here? Their little door says, welcome. So now, you know what, Isaac, let's sit down. Can you sit down? You sit down too, Isaac. All right. I'm going to turn their habitat like this a little bit.
Here's some.
Okay, Riri, you hold it for him. Okay, hold on, wait. I'm going to take out their food. Okay, remember some of them have some red stuff on it, and it looks like blood, but it's not red, and it's not blood, it's called meconium. Meconium is the stuff that the liquid that is inside the cocoon as they turn into butterflies. Okay. Ooh.
I'm gonna grab one.
Ah, there he goes. There's one.
I guess they just fly out themselves.
Very careful.
There it goes.
Do you see, Isaac, can you get a close-up on it?
No, I wanna get closer.
Okay, come sit right here. Oh, come sit down, Riri, right here.
I wanna sit down and hold it.
Oh, this is a baby one. See, it's got some of the red stuff came on me. So that means that's called meconium. It's not blood. Put your finger out like that. Wait, Riri, let Mama help you. You don't want to hold it?
I just wanna see it.
Okay, put it right there. You look at. We'll let him kind of loosen up a little bit. Let's see. Gentle, Riri. Let him do his own thing. Ah! Oh, look! Okay, if you're going to cry and whine, you can't be in here. They're not scary. They're butterflies. Ooh, this looks out of my shirt.
What? It's climbing at me!
Look at that one on my shirt.
Look at this one on my arm.
Look at that. Can you see him, Isaac?
Mama, I don't like them because they have 2 tiny little pinchers on their mouth.
No, they don't. That's called a proboscis, and that's what they use to get
Mama.
nectar.
Hey, Mama.
Oh, isn't it beautiful? So, boys and girls, if you look at the butterfly that's on Ruth's hand, can you see that? Then when it has its wings shut, it looks kind of round and polka dotty. And when it opens its wings, it's beautiful and orange and red, and that's why it's called a painted lady. Isn't it beautiful? That's the species of butterfly that we're using, painted lady. So Riri, don't try to squish it. Just let it sit there on your hand, okay?
How many more?
Riri, jump. Just let it sit. go. Look at that one. See its wings? When it opens up, it's got orange and black and red. But then when it's closed like that, it kind of looks like a leaf, doesn't it? It even kind of trembles a little, just like a leaf would do with in the wind. Okay, just leave it alone there, man. Hold it still.
Mama, I want to hold one that doesn't move.
Well, I can't guarantee you it's not going to move.
Hey, Mama, put it on my... No, I want root. My line broke. No, not that one. I want root.
Grammy, you want to hold one? No, okay. You see that one, boys and girls? Isn't it beautiful?
Mama. And look at this one. It's standing on my...
It is.
Mama,
Can you get a good shot of it, Isaac? Let's stop pointing, Micah.
Where's its eyeballs?
Its eyeballs are right there on its head. And see, it's using its antenna to kind of check out and see what's going on. Careful not to squish it, Rue. Careful not. Just leave it alone. Leave it on the grass. I'm sorry. It's creepy. Rue, don't touch. Just leave it on the grass.
I just want to hold it.
Okay.
Mama, I want to put butterfly that has dots like eyeballs, and then it'll fly into my face. And
What do you think, Graham?
it has a tongue.
That's called a proboscis. It looks like a tongue. It's a long thing that uncurls out of its mouth called a proboscis, and that's what it puts into flowers to get nectar to drink.
They want to stay there.
Well, they're just kind of adjusting to being out of their habitat. They've had a hard day. No, don't touch. Just
My dad want to hold them.
okay. Well, you're holding one, so leave it alone.
Oh,
I think that one likes you, Rue.
my feet sure love me.
Oh, there it goes.
Mom, why is it flapping super duper fast?
Because it's getting its wings getting all the blood supply in their
There it
wings.
goes.
Oh, there that one goes. This one,
Mommy.
wait, just wait.
Mama,
Wait.
not moving.
It's on my shoe. Look, there's two right there. Leave them alone. No, don't grab it. Don't grab it. You'll hurt its wings. Don't grab it. You'll hurt its wings. Just let them. They're sitting there and kind of loosening up a little bit.
I want to hold one that Ruth had.
The one that Ruth had flew away.
See?
Uh-huh. Come on, little guy. Woo! On my shirt. Be careful not to squish.
Any more?
Be careful not to squish.
Where that one goes.
There's one on my foot.
I want to hold one.
See?
I want to hold
Just leave them in the grass for a second. They like my pink shirt, boys and girls.
It looks
Ruth, be careful. Ruth, you scrunched it up.
All right.
I don't think so.
Boys and girls, I'm going to show you this real quick.
Hey, Sarah.
What? Yes, sir.
These alligators now?
Shh.
There it
Okay,
goes.
so come here, Isaac, real close. Real close. Do you see this right here? Those look like paper. This one right here actually is not done yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook it right here on this plant. And that way when he comes out of his chrysalis, he will go straight into nature. Are you being gentle, Rue?
Mom, look at that one behind
See
you.
if that one will sit on Micah's finger.
Huh?
See if it'll sit on Micah's finger.
Do you want to hold it or no?
Just put it on your finger, Micah.
It's coming back.
Do you want it or no?
It's coming at me.
Isaac, look at her hair. Do you see him on Ruth's hair bows, boys and girls? Oh, there with that one. Okay, this is the last one.
No, there's one behind you.
Oh yeah, he's chilling. Be gentle, Rue. Don't scrunch.
I can, I just wanna,
She's not afraid of him.
I wanna actually
She's so
wanna
gentle.
put them on my hand.
Can you change them up?
It's so cute, Mama. You promise they won't hurt?
Yes. Give me it. You see it on my shirt, boys and girls? Can you see that,
See
Isaac?
this one on my arm? Wait, take it I guess it likes
It's on Rue.
by holding it up, it can't get close.
Okay, boys and girls, so all of our butterflies are out of their habitat. We did a good job raising them from tiny little caterpillars. And next week, I'm going to tell you all about how to grow plants. I love you guys. Bye-bye.